Hello students, welcome to physics class. So already we discussed at this point in previous class, that is incident ray, normal, angle of incident, refracted ray and angle of refraction. So this is medium 1 and this is medium 2. Here I want to discuss laws of refraction. Already I told the laws of refraction are two laws. One is incident ray, reflected ray, and normal. All are at the same plane. All are rising same plane. And second law I told in laws of reflection, not refraction, reflection and angle of incidence is equal to angle of refraction. Angle of incidence is equal to angle of refraction. So now in refraction, what is the loss? Similarly, as like as law of reflection, the first I say here the incident ray and the refracted ray and normal all are lies in same plane. All are lies in same plane. And they in reflection the second law is dependent on angle of incidence and angle of reflection. And here also the second law is dependent on angle of incidence and angle of refraction. In reflection they are equal. In refraction they are not equal. In refraction they are equal. In refraction there is not equal because the light deviates its original path. Means the angle is deviate. The angle is deviate. The angle is deviate. And the angle is also called the angle of deviation. Here I wrote two laws. One is incident ray, refracted ray and normal. All are lies in same plane. That is called first law of refraction. Now here we have to discuss the second law, which is most important here. I told here in the laws of reflection, the angle of incidence and angle of reflection, angle of incidence and angle of reflection both are equal, but here they are not equal. But we have to say the relation between angle of incidence and angle of refraction. But we have to say that angle of incidence and angle of refraction. To tell the relation between angle of incidence and angle of refraction, here one of the scientists, which name is known as Snell's, he told one law which is called Snell's law. Means here laws of refraction is nothing but Snell's law. Is nothing but Snell's law. What is the statement of the Snell? What the statement of the Snell is telling means the product of refractive index and angle of incident at a point is always constant. Is always constant. The product of refractive index and sine of angle of incidence at a point is constant. So this is known as Snell's law. I am repeating the Snell's law statement is one more time. The product of refractive index and sine of angle of incidence at a point is constant. Means here in this point we learn one more extra point which is called refractive index. So what is meant by refractive index? Means we have to learn in next class. Right? So the product of refractive index, and sine of angle of incidence is at a point is constant, is always constant. And the refractive index here denoted with mu. And I told the product of sine of angle of incidence is I, that is equal to constant. the product of refractive index and sine of angle of incidence is always gives constant. The product of refractive index and sine of angle of incidence is always give constant. Is called Snell's law. For example, if you take this is medium 1 has some refractive index, so that is mu 1, and medium 2 has some refractive index, so that is mu 2. Then from according to this statement, we can write the medium 1, the refractive index is mu 1. For medium, the angle of incidence is high, so then we can write that this is sin I is equal to. For medium 2, the refractive index is mu 2 and the angle of refraction is r, so then we can write the sin r. So from these we can write sin I by sin r is equal to mu 2 by mu 1. This is known by Snell's, is called Snell's law. So this is about the second law of refraction. Here the second law of refraction is nothing but the product of refraction, the product of refractive index and sine of angle of incidence at a point is constant. Means here mu into sine is equal to constant, where mu is the refractive index of the given media and I is the angle of incidence at that point. So here in diagram I told two mediums, medium 1 and medium 2. Medium 1 have refractive index of mu 1 and medium 2 refractive index of mu 2. So then we can write from this definition, we can write mu 1 sin I is equal to mu 2 sin r. From this sin I by sin r is equal to mu 2 by mu 1. And this is told by Snell's, is called Snell's law. It's called Snell's law. So here sin A by sin r is equal to mu 2 by mu 1, and mu 2 is the refractive index of one media and mu 2 is the refractive index of another media. Then we can write mu 2 by mu 1 is always gives one constant value. Means here simply we can say that the refractive index is nothing but a constant. Means here the refractive index is not a physical quantity, it gives one constant value. So sin A by sin r is equal to constant, which is known as Snell's law. I think you are clear about laws of refraction. If you clear these 2 points, now I want to talk some note points on this topic. Clear? Here I wrote some note points. The first note point is, already we told in Snell's law we have to sin A by sin r is equal to mu 2 by mu 1, and that mu 2 by mu 1 we can written as mu 2 1, which is known as refractive index of medium 2 with respect to the medium 1. According to this Snell's law, we can write sin A by sin r is equal to mu 2 by mu 1, and also we can write that is in mu 2 1, where it is known as refractive index of medium 2 with respect to the medium 1. Refractive index of medium 2 with respect to the medium 1. Now I wrote another point here. What is that means? Let us consider a real-time term in this situation as one figure. Here I wrote one figure. Here a number of mediums are there. So this is one medium which is for refractive index mu 1, and this is another medium which is refractive index mu 2, and this is another medium which is refractive index mu 3, and say this is another medium refractive index mu 4. So then what will happen in this? In this what will happen? We have to show it obeys Snell's law. Snell's law is nothing but the product of refractive index and angle of incidence is always equal to constant. So how it will be happen? Let us know here for medium 1 for medium one, according to Snell's law, for these two mediums, for 1 and 2, we can write sin I by sin r is equal to mu 2 by mu 1. So here sin I means I by here r means r1. So we can write sin r1 is equal to mu 2 by mu 1. Here mu 2 is equal to mu 2 by mu 1. So from this we can write mu 1 sin I is equal to mu 2 sin r1. So this is equation 1. So this is equation 1. Similarly, just to compare the second and third media, according to this Snell's law, we can write mu 2 sin r1 is equal to mu 3 sin r3 So this is equation 2. From these two media, we can write mu 1 sin I is equal to mu 2 sin r1. From these two media, we can write according to Snell's law, mu 2 sin r1 is equal to mu 3 sin r2. According to these two media and third and fourth media, according to the third and fourth media, we can write the equation by using the Snell's law. The refractive index is mu 3 and the angular incidence is r2 is equal to, here the refractive index is mu 4 and the angle of refraction is sin t. There is angle of aperture. While you observe this three equation 1, 2 and 3, from equation 1 we can write mu 2 sin r1 and mu 2 sin r1 is nothing but mu 3 sin r2, and here also root mu 3 sin r2 is nothing but mu 4 sin t. So from equation 1, 2, 3, from equation 1 and 2 and 3, from equation 1, 2 and 3, simply we can say that mu into sin I is equal to constant. Simply we can say that mu into sin I equal to constant. So means it obeys Snell's law. I wrote here two note points. One is the light ray travels from medium 1 to medium 2, then sin I by sin r is equal to mu 2 by mu 1, that we can write mu 2 1. It's called refractive index of second medium 2 with respect to the medium 1. And the second point, I saw one diagram here, and the light rays are traveling in different situation. The light ray is traveling in different situation. In that situation also, we proved that the product of refractive index and sin of angle of incidence is always equal to constant. That is point 2. And another 2 points are there on here, note points. I think the 2 points you know well. Let us discuss what are the 2 points. So third point is when the light ray travel from optically rarer medium to denser medium. I told the light ray can travel from rarer medium to denser medium, or the light ray can travel from denser medium to rarer medium. So what are the conditions when the light rays travel from rarer medium to denser medium? When the light ray travel from rarer medium to denser medium, the first point is the light ray bends toward the normal. The first point is the light ray bends toward the normal. When the light ray travel from rarer medium to denser medium. While come to the light rays travel from denser medium to rarer medium, the light ray is always bends away from the normal. Means for this, simply we can write it is the dividing surface and it is the angle of incidence. And this is the normal. and this is angle of incidence, and the light is always bent toward the normal when the light is traveling from radar medium to denser medium. What the first point I told? Here it bends towards normal. And second point, here the angle of incidence is greater than angle of refraction. Second point what I wrote means the angle of incidence is greater than angle of refraction. Means already I told this is the original path of your light, incident light, and it deviates with some angle. It deviates with some angle. That angle is called angle of deviation. That angle is called angle of deviation. And the angle of deviation simply we can write I minus r. What I wrote there. So this is the note 3. Here what I wrote means when the light travels from optical radar medium to denser medium, it bends towards normal, and the angle of incidence is greater than angle of refraction, and the angle of deviation became I minus r. Similarly, when the light ray travels from denser medium to radar medium, when the light ray travels from denser medium to radar medium, similarly when the light ray travels from denser medium to radar medium, the light ray bends away from the normal. The light bends away from the normal. The light bends away from the normal. Means here the light ray will be bent like this. The second example, which is traveling from radar medium to denser medium, and this is the path of the original light ray. Here this is angle of incidence and this is angle of incidence. This is called angle of refraction. Angle of refraction is more than angle of incidence, and it deviates some angle. It deviates some angle. It deviates some angle. What is that angle? Means r minus I. R minus I. What are the points here? But I wrote some points here. For the point when the light is traveling from denser medium to radar medium, the light bends away from the normal. The light bends away from the normal, and the angle of refraction is greater than angle of incidence. And here the angle deviated by the light ray, the angle deviated by the light ray from its original path is delta. So lambda, which is called angle of deviation. Angle of deviation delta is delta is equal to r minus I. R minus I. Angle of deviation delta is equal to r minus I. In this condition, angle of deviation is equal to I minus r. In this condition, angle of deviation is r minus I. R minus I. So these are the note points about laws of refraction and Snell's law. And now we have to discuss one more point. What we got, one new point which is named as the refractive index. So now our topic is what is refractive index. What is refractive index? Refractive index. I told medium is there, that is known as denser medium, and also I told the denser medium is nothing but the particle density. Particle density means when the light ray is traveling in that denser medium, the speed of the light is changes. The speed of the light is changes. Did you understand my point? When the light is incident on the dividing surface, and the light ray which is traveling in the denser media, which is called optical density, means the light speed is changes while traveling in that medium. And that optical changes, that the speed of the light changes in the optical media, which is called optical density, or in denser media, is termed as the refractive index. So what is the statement? What is the definition of the refractive index? What is the definition of the refractive index? The definition of the refractive index is nothing but the ratio of the speed of the ratio of speed of light in a free space or vacuum to the speed of light in a given medium. Means the refractive index is the ratio of the speed of light. The refractive index is nothing but the ratio of the speed of light. Here I told the speed of light ratio is nothing but in a free space or in a vacuum to given media is called refractive index. Sir, it's very good. The definition what you told is right. But here I have two mediums. You told one is rarer media, which is called air or vacuum or free space. Another one is media, which is called denser media, means it is some media, either water or glass or something. But I have two mediums. In that either one of the medium is also not a vacuum or a free space. Then what happened? There is any refractive index for that media? Yeah. But that type of medium also have some refractive index now. Did you understand my point here? Here the refractive index is nothing but the ratio of the speed of light in vacuum to speed of light in medium. Means here two mediums, one is either media, that is a vacuum, another medium is a given media. Then we can define the refractive index is nothing but the ratio of the speed of light. The ratio of the speed of light in a free space to speed of light in a medium. Either the given two mediums are different medias, in that even one of the medium is also not but that vacuum or free space or air. If the two mediums are different media, then also you have some refractive index. It means here we have to discuss the refractive index are two types. Here the refractive index are two types. The first one is called absolute refractive index, and the second one is called a relative refractive index. The first one is called absolute refractive index, and second one is called relative refractive index. Absolute refractive index means in that two mediums, one medium is vacuum or free space, another medium is given medium. But relative refractive index, the two mediums are different medium. That is not even one also free space or air or vacuum. Clear? Now let us discuss about absolute. So I wrote the definition here, the refractive index. The first one is absolute refractive index. But I wrote the definition of the absolute refractive index is nothing but the ratio of the speed of light in a free space or vacuum, which is denoted with the C, to the speed of light in a medium, which is denoted with the V. First one I told that is absolute refractive index is nothing but the ratio of the speed of light, in a free space to the speed of the light in a given media is called absolute refractive index, and the absolute refractive index is denoted with the mu. Mu is equal to formula is the speed of light in free space to speed of light in given media. Speed of light in a free space to speed of light in given media. So this is the definition of the absolute refractive index. Now this definition I want to tell in terms of electromagnetic theory. In terms of electromagnetic theory, here electromagnetic theory have two terms which is called epsilon and mu. Epsilon is called permittivity and mu is called permeability. Means I told light is nothing but electromagnetic wave, means it consists of two waves. One is electric wave and magnetic wave. So for that here we have epsilon naught and mu naught in terms of electricity and magnetic. If the two terms which is epsilon naught and mu naught, epsilon naught is the permittivity in free space and mu naught is the permittivity in vacuum, and epsilon is the permittivity in medium and mu is the permittivity in permeability in a medium, then we can write the speed of the light in terms of electromagnetic theory is equal to 1 by root of mu into epsilon naught. Like that means we can define this absolute refractive index as in the term of electromagnetic theory, or as in terms of permeability and permeability. So how can we define the relative the refractive, the absolute refractive index as in the form of electromagnetic theory? So here from electromagnetic theory, I defined the refractive index as in terms of mu naught and epsilon naught and mu and epsilon. Here mu epsilon naught and mu naught are the permittivity and permeability in free space, and epsilon and mu are the permittivity and permeability in a given media. Then we can write the refractive index mu is equal to C by V. In terms of mu and epsilon, the speed of light is always equal to 1 by root over mu into epsilon. But here C is the speed of light in vacuum. In the speed of light in vacuum, we can define as in the form of electric and magnetic field. C is equal to 1 by root over mu naught and epsilon naught. And for the speed of the light in given media, V is equal to 1 by root over mu into epsilon. While we simplify this equation, then we can write root over mu into epsilon by mu naught into epsilon naught. Here mu by mu naught and epsilon by epsilon naught are named as relative permeability and relative permittivity. It is mu, that is called permeability in a given media, mu naught permeability in the free space. The ratio of the permeability in a given media to the permeability in a free space is called relative permeability, mu r. And here I wrote epsilon is the permittivity in a given media and epsilon naught is the permittivity in a vacuum or in a free space. Then the ratio of the permittivity in a given medium to permittivity in a free space is always gives one equation which is called relative permittivity. We denote with epsilon r. So here we can write in terms of electromagnetic theory the refractive index, which is called absolute refractive index. Here the absolute refractive index is also we can write as in the form of root over mu by mu naught and epsilon by epsilon naught. That is equal to we can write root over mu r into epsilon, where mu r and epsilon r are the relative permeability and the relative permittivity. Mu r is nothing but relative permeability and epsilon is nothing but relative permittivity. Relative means comparison. Within here the definition of the relative permeability is nothing but the ratio of the permeability in a given medium to permeability in a free space. And here relative permittivity is nothing but the ratio of the permittivity to the ratio of the permittivity in a given medium to permittivity in a free space. So then we can write in from electromagnetic theory that the absolute refractive index is in the form of root over mu r into epsilon r, where mu r is the relative permeability and epsilon r is the relative permittivity. So this is about the refractive index now. Not a this is completely refractive index. So only first point which I am discussing here, which is called absolute refractive index. In absolute refractive index, in two mediums, so one medium is yes, vacuum or free space. Another medium is one medium. Now we have to talk about the second refractive index, which is called relative refractive index. Before that, let us learn some more note points in this topic. Yeah, let us learn some more note points in this topic.